Welcome to the Silver Mature WomanPreneur Podcast, a podcast for and by women over 50, providing faith-building strategies for female entrepreneurs looking to achieve higher levels of productivity, capacity, and growth, where we strive to focus on God's agenda while building our businesses to serve our community with excellence. Welcome to the podcast. Katryna Johnson on the show. We actually met about 5 years ago in Charleston while at a networking event. I worked with her in managing one of her pop-up locations, and she's also supported me in my business endeavors. She comes with a plethora of experience. She helps women in business learn, connect, grow, and prosper through training, coaching, events, mastermind groups, and support. And she helps them figure out how to go from where they are now to where they want to be. Welcome to the show, Katryna. Your networking event is how we met, and It was just like an instant connection. I think we did like a little video or something like that, and it was just, yeah. So,
I think so.
So how in the world have you been?
I have been fabulous. I have to say that I am incredibly lucky that I really, everything is going well. And I pivoted successfully through the pandemic, and actually it ended up, being that blessing in disguise. Who knew?
I mean, that's a great place to start because a lot of people, you have a segment of people who have no idea how to pivot their business because they've been doing it a certain way for so long. So what are some things that you did during the pandemic that, helped you to pivot successfully?
Well, I was doing a lot of in-person events. Yep. I had like in-person mastermind groups, and I was doing like a training class, in a classroom every Friday kind of thing. And suddenly you can't leave the house. Well, you got to get on Zoom, right? Yeah. And so you've got to create and figure out how to communicate through electronics versus in person. Yeah. Right? And I had a lot of community members who were very hesitant about Zoom and digital online. I kept hearing that, they just don't learn very well through the computer. It's boring. They get distracted. So it was really, coming up with ways, learning the different kinds of online tools and ways to engage people. Like breakout rooms on Zoom. Oh, my gosh, once I figured out how you can put people into breakout rooms and have smaller, more intimate discussions inside of a bigger discussion, that was great. And people ended up really liking it, right? And people really having kind of fun being able to be one-on-one with people and then, into a bigger group and then go one-on-one again with someone else. People seem to really enjoy it once they got into it. Yeah. So just managing the technology kind of thing. And then the other thing that I kind of did early on was a lot of my trainings. I'm no longer doing in-person classes, but I spent quite a bit of time recording some training. And so I now have quite the library of all kinds of training. I basically, sat in a spare bedroom with a computer and a camera. The lighting, it's not always the best kind of thing, but I recorded me talking to the room, talking to the wall and recording trainings. And, they're all not great, but good information. Yeah. But it's out there, right? And so now I can actually, I actually have 4 or 5 courses, online courses now that, people can download or buy just the course, or they can still become a member of my organization and get access to the training. Yeah. But that freed up so much. Honestly, I can just send people, it's like, you want to know XYZ? You know what? Yeah. I did a 3-hour training on that. Here's the link. Go watch it.
Exactly.
So it actually became more efficient,
Yeah.
and I actually started doing more targeted mastermind groups, and that really worked for me. And I could bring in people, since the masterminds were online, I brought in like women from Florida, and women from North Carolina, and women from Indiana, and women from Ohio, kind of thing, in addition to South Carolina. So I got a real mix of businesses in some of my mastermind groups.
Wow.
Meeting new people and new ideas, and I mean that just really worked. So the pandemic was good for me.
It's funny you said that, because I was going to say the same thing for myself, because I don't know about you, but I am really a homebody, okay? And the whole idea of me being able to, it was like I was waiting for that something, not that I was waiting for the pandemic, because I know that,
reason to stay home. Yeah.
I wanted that reason to stay home, not have to get in traffic, not have to dress up, put on makeup. For me, it was really a blessing in disguise, because I love connecting virtually. And now with the social audio thing, Clubhouse and all that stuff, that's just right up my alley. That's just like my jam.
Nice. Very good, very good.
Yeah.
The other thing that I did that I'm like going, who knew? We got stimulus checks, right? Remember those things? You got those stimulus money? Mm-hmm. I didn't need it to live on, right? Because I still had business coming in and that kind of thing. Yeah, that's the great thing about the membership model. You get some money every month. Right. But that stimulus money came in, and I used it to make improvements on my house. And one of the improvements was working on my office. I now love my home office. Before the pandemic, I didn't really spend as much time in the office because I was out meeting people. Yeah. I was out, I was meeting someone for lunch every day, and I was, going here, going there, networking, whatever. Sitting here in my office, so my office was kind of neglected. I spent some of the stimulus money to really cozy up my office, and I love my office now.
Wow.
and so it was kind of, but if I hadn't had the stimulus money, I would have never spent, not that I invested that much, but I invested in my office, right? A bookshelf that it's funky, and I absolutely just love it. It fits exactly. It's like, that's like the perfect, it's like, it's the silly little things, right? It's like, that bookshelf is perfect. The dog bed, because my dog, hangs out with me. It's like, the dog bed is perfect right there. And the chair, I rearranged everything. And it's like, this setup just flows for me, Yeah. And I whitewashed the walls, and they're gorgeous, and,
It's like it's a pleasure to be at home. It's like
it is.
Because it's because that's where we spend most of our time if we're, working from home and we don't have, an office that we have to drive to or what have you. If we're working from home, why not have it be a place where it's a pleasure to be there. It's like I love working in my office. I love the whole feel, the whole vibe of my home office. And so I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like, exactly.
Yeah, bought some motivational posters on the wall.
Yes.
Before I didn't have any of that, right? And now I've got it, and I'm like going, I'm looking at the poster that says, she believed she could, so she did.
Yes.
And it's like, I look at that every day, and I read it, and, and I've got like this mirror sitting beside me that I could see if I'm smiling or not. It's all these little things that just made such a difference.
Did you find that that you became more productive? Because for some people, it was like,
I am incredibly more productive.
Yes.
Just getting rid of commute kinds of things and waiting for other people. Incredibly more productive.
So, Katryna, let's talk about what you help your clients do. I know that you help women in business to learn and connect and grow and prosper through training. So, let's kind of dive in a little bit into what exactly you help your clients do.
Okay. Well, I am all about foundation, right? I'm all about, do you have a good foundation to grow on and to scale? So I go back to the basics, right? What entity? Are you registered with the state? Do you have your EIN? Do you have a business banking account? And do you understand how to manage business expenses versus personal expenses and not mix them, right? Some of my background, I was a bankruptcy attorney and had to deal with a lot of people's taxes. So I really try to make sure my entrepreneurs understand taxes and keeping track of expenses and making sure that the business is paying for itself. You don't know how frustrated I get with people. I'm not going to quit self-funding, right? Make the business pay for itself. Find a way to make money in the business, right? I mean, the first thing I say to them, I just had this conversation with someone yesterday who's coming on board as a client. I'm like one of the first things we're going to do is we need to get you making money. You need to make sales. Yes, we will do the foundational stuff. We will get your website. We will, set up an email service. We will get your Facebook page and your LinkedIn profile. We'll get all that stuff. But the very first thing I want her to do, and she's got 10 days to do it, is she needs to start calling people, email people, message people, and say, I'm starting to provide this service. Who do you know? Who can I talk to? And she has 10 days to come up with her first client. Because she has everything. It's just she doesn't have all the bells and whistles. But people will hire her for her service because none of her services are through her website, right? Her services are through her working with her client to get extra results. It doesn't matter. I mean, as long as she's got like a PayPal, it doesn't even have to be, you can Cash App. Your first client can send you that first payment via Cash App.
Right,
doesn't have to go, as long as she has, and she already has like her onboarding forms and, that she already has that stuff. So it's like I want you to reach out, and we kind of worked on some approaches, some things to say to people. We want her initial offering, what her price, seriously, she was trying to tell me that, well, I think I'm going to charge 4 sessions for $100. And I'm like going, you have a master's degree and you've got 4 certifications. You're not going to do four sessions for $100. You're not. You're not. Yeah. Because I don't know who you would attract with that, but not the people you want to attract. She's going out. She's going out with her initial offer is 4 sessions for $750.
Well, exactly.
That's where we're going to start.
Yeah.
And we kind of worked through her money fears. Oh, but no one will pay it. I'm like going, no, really, people will pay it because you are actually going to provide them information. And in 4 sessions, they're going to get information that could change their lives. Yeah. Right? It's like if they can't invest $750 to change their life, then they're probably not going to be your client.
You hit on so many points just right there. Like one of the things that the things that I heard was this is someone that doesn't value their services. They don't value what they bring to the marketplace. It sounds like
they're very unclear of what because she actually knows that she has really good information. And she's done the certifications. She knows her stuff. She just doesn't know how the marketplace is going to value it. If you don't tell the marketplace, then they won't. She said, you got to tell them. This is what it's worth, and this is why.
But it still boils down to how do you value what you bring to the marketplace, because some people, they have a lot, they have degrees, they have gone through, certifications, they have, 20, 30 years of experience or what have you, but yet they, a lot of times you find that when people are entering into the marketplace, it's like we think that people won't pay for our services. And so, you said that in so many words. That was kind of one of the challenges that was like a mindset shift that has to happen, that you're obviously helping someone with, and so helping your clients with when they come to you.
No, absolutely. Yeah. And I find that, everyone, okay, so I say that I do the 4 M's, right? It's marketing, management, mindset, and money.
Got it.
Right? So those are the 4 M's that, Mirelli stands for. And I have to deal with all 4 of those with every client.
Yeah.
And that mindset piece, oh
my gosh.
Mindset. And it's one of those things that, and I don't even know exactly, well, actually I probably do know how I got started in mindset, but mindset is such a critical piece.
Oh my gosh.
And being motivated and keep reminding yourself,
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Zig Ziglar who said, motivation doesn't last, or neither does bathing. That's why you do it every day, kind of thing.
Right.
I think I have that backwards, but motivation doesn't last, neither does bathing. But it's something that it's got to become a habit, and it's got to be something that you have to keep reminding yourself, because the negative voices, the naysayers in your head, will continue to come out unless you actively say no.
Yeah.
That's not where I'm going. You know what? I can succeed at this. I can do this. I can be better. You got to continually do that. But there are so many women, and especially the women in this age group that we're talking about.
Yeah.
They just, it's like, oh my God, they discount their experiences so much. Yeah. It's like, you know what? You've been in a workplace for 30 years, and my guess is that you have been discriminated against, that you have been kind of discounted. Guys have talked over you and around you and haven't taken you at full value. And it's time to, and you survived all of it. Mm-hmm. So, and I say that I want all my clients to own their own economy. That's what I say. So it's like, you know what? You've got to take ownership of your own money, of your own business. Mm-hmm. And if you are the decision maker, if you're the one who owns it, then step forward and say, no, this is how it's going to be. Mm-hmm. And I'm worth it. Do it.
Yeah.
Don't look to anyone. Anytime they say, I don't mind them asking their husband's advice or whatever, but don't let him make the decision in your business.
Yeah.
He can have a say. He can have an opinion. That's great, but he doesn't get to make the decision for you.
Yeah, unless they're partners or something like that in the business.
Well, if they're they're co-owners, then obviously. But for the most part, it's like if it's your business, you don't go and ask him, well, should I do this or this, and you always do what he says, regardless of what you want to do.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that is so. No. You were talking about staying motivated and positive. So, what are some things? And I know you talked about your office and the the environment that you've created in your space. What are some other things that keep you motivated and positive?
So there's a couple things. One is I am devoted to the Miracle Morning, Hal Elrod. I love, savers, silence, affirmations, visualization. I'm trying to remember. It's like exercise, reading, and scribing, journaling. I love those, and I do try to incorporate them some part of every day. Now, I don't do all of them. At the beginning, maybe I would really focus a lot, but now it's kind of like I do a lot of journaling, do a lot of visualization, prayer. But, I mean, I love the Miracle Morning because it has really, really worked for me. It really does. The other thing is I have kind of a library of motivational videos. And anyone who's been around me very long, they know that, that there's one called Dream. It's a picture, and if you go to YouTube and just put in Will Smith Dream or Les Brown Dream, and it's just a compilation of different motivational movies and Les Brown and Rock Thomas and a couple other people, their speeches. That is like 4 minutes, and if I ever feel I'm getting off track, I'll watch that. And it will get me right back to where I need to be. And I've got one of Marianne Williamson that, again, if I kind of feel a little, you know what? All I need is watch that video of like 3 to 4 minutes, and then suddenly I'm in my living room, like shouting at the world, going, "I'm going to win!"
Yes, yes.
But I do read, right? I've always got a couple books going. Matter of fact, if you went out into my living room right now, you would see that this morning I was reading Think and Grow Rich, which I try to read at least once a year. So that's out there. I just got The High Five Habit from Mel Robbins. Yeah, I've been the last, I don't know, I'm going to say 4 or 5 months, I've just loved every single thing that Mel Robbins has done. Yeah, the 5-second rule, the original one. But when she finished this book, this High Five Habit, I don't know, I subscribed to her newsletter kind of thing. And I subscribed to her blog. I guess that's where it started. And it was like every single, 2 or 3, she doesn't post like every day, right? So she posts like maybe once a week. And it was like, the message just hit me. And then like the next week, that message hit me. And then the next week, and it was just like going, oh my God, every single thing. And it's been for like 3 or 4 months now. It's like she 100% resonates with what I need. Yeah. And so I've been a big Mel Robbins lately. It's just like I'm reading everything Mel Robbins. Yeah, I think I went to a Brene Brown thing a couple of years ago. Yeah. And now I'm in a Mel Robbins. It's just like everything that she's doing and saying and speak is like that is the truth for me. So that's kind of how I keep it. And the other thing is because I've got clients that I got to work with, I've got to make sure that I'm straight and motivated and happy to feed into them. So that kind of keeps me on track. Is like, well, I can't really have a conversation with them when I'm in a deep funk kind of thing because I've got to lead them, or I've got to be like the demonstration for them on how to approach things. So that that's kind of like that other motivation is like, well, I have people quote unquote relying on me that I don't want to let them down.
It's funny you said that because as you were saying that I thought, it's like I can't come to a coaching session or a mentoring session or whatever, and I am trying to show them, where to go, and I haven't been there myself.
Right.
What do you consider your greatest success so far?
Oh, I mean, honestly, my greatest success, honestly, was coming to the realization that I'm in control of my life and I can make myself happy and make money and no one else is going to do it for me. That was like the biggest thing. But I've had a couple client successes that are just kind of mind-blowing, honestly. I had one young lady, she joined my a mastermind group, one of my, paid masterminds, and she told me, I send them a business assessment at the beginning, and she wrote on there, she's like going, you are kind of like my last stop. She goes, I am going to, if I can't figure this out, I'm closing my business. Now, she's been in business for like 5 years and was just really struggling. And, we had her set a goal. Her first goal was she wanted to make $5,000 a month. Well, she made that goal on like day 62, which was basically her second month in the mastermind. She hit her 5,000. And then she said her goal was, she really wanted to quit her job. She had kind of a part-time on-call job, JOB, and she's like I really want to do that, but I've got to have consistent money, right? I have to make sure that I feel that it's going to work every month. And you know what? And then like the next month she made $7,000, and the next month she made, maybe dropped down a little bit, like 62. And then, but we did 6 months in a row over 5, and then she was like knocking on the door to 10,000. And then like in month 6, 7, she went over 10, was like close to 12.
Wow.
And then she pretty much was, she's like going, Trina, I can do this. I know how to do this. I've got clients. I mean, she was selling out every single month, and meeting and exceeding, and she was like becoming in demand, right? People were actually reaching out to her without her even really doing much, right? Because she created the buzz and she did the right things, and she was talking now suddenly to the right people, right pricing. I mean, one of the first things we did was change her pricing. And seriously, it was like, I'm like this mother hen. I was like so freaking proud of her. And when she said, she's like, talk to my husband and I'm putting in my notice, I'm quitting my job. Honestly, it was like, I don't know which of us were like happier. Because it was just such a great journey to watch. Every week, she'd come to the mastermind, and because at the end of every mastermind, you got to-dos, right? I mean, this is what you got to do this week, blah 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 blah. And she would come back, and I did this and did this. Oh, and I got to do this and whatever. And so the other people in the mastermind were like going, well, we don't want to feel like with a slacker. So they all, I mean, seriously, that's what one of them said. They're like going, so they actually started pushing a little harder and doing a little bit more. And that first mastermind group, of all 6 ladies hit their goals.
Wow.
Every single one of them, and by a lot.
Wow.
So it was like, yes, this model works. And when you get 1 or 2 that can be on fire, then they just pull everyone else with them.
I mean, I'm sure you were just like over the moon, and that's probably an understatement.
Well, and it's so exciting, right?
Yeah.
Just to see them blooming and blossoming and getting results. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole thing, right? I mean, when you're a coach or, mastermind leader, facilitator kind of thing, you want them to get results. And that first group just had some amazing results.
Now, I know you've been doing masterminds for a while, because you were, doing them, of course, when I was there. How long have you been doing masterminds?
Well, 6 years.
Wow.
6 years.
Wow.
So, so my Tuesday night group, I mean, and it changes, right? I mean, people flow in, flow out, whatever. But that's been going for 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah, but now I'm doing like intensive masterminds for, it's only for 6 months. And then they can move but it's a real intensive, it's a 90-day intensive with 90 days of maintenance.
So what are some things that you see, or maybe some common mistakes that you see that entrepreneurs make? And, you kind of shared a few mindset things, when we first started talking. What are some other things that you see, some common mistakes that entrepreneurs make?
Well, I mean, probably the first one is underpricing.
Okay.
That one's huge. The other thing is having the idea that everything has to be done before you start.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That you've got to have the website, and you've got to have your all your social media, and you've got to have 20 posts, and you have to have at least 2,000 followers, before you actually start.
Yeah.
that just, I'm like going, no, you know what? I mean, the IRS says you're in business when you make your first sale. Mm-hmm. It is not, you're not in business when you create your Facebook page. That's not being in business, okay?
That's
right?
funny.
I mean, you know,
yeah.
But so they want to do all this prep work, and some prep work, absolutely. I mean, you really should go through the business planning process and get an idea of how the business works. Absolutely, you know, but don't spend so much time on that you don't actually launch. You don't actually, you know, I mean, you got to sell something. You've got to talk to someone, because that's what business is.
Yeah.
So that's a big one. Is they take too long to get ready.
Yeah.
You know, because then they like get scared. It's like failure to launch. It's like, no, just dive in. You know.
Yeah.
Like it's funny because you talk about the first mastermind. So I'll just tell you a quick little story. So my very first mastermind, right? I'm going to do it. And I had rented a room at a restaurant downtown kind of thing, and I go to my first mastermind, and I sat there all by myself for 90 minutes. No one showed up. Okay, you know, but I did what I did. You know, I was there. All right, so I'm still promoting it. So second week, again, no one showed up. Third week, I went and picked up a friend and drove her with me so that the two of us could mastermind, right?
Right.
Week 4, I went by myself because someone said that they were coming. And I went, and they didn't show up, and it was like 20 minutes late. So I left, and I had just got out of the parking lot, and the phone rings, and it's the restaurant going, hey, there's someone here looking for you. Turn back around, talk to them. And then by week 5, I think I had like 3 people. And maybe 10 weeks in, I had like a group of like 8 or 10. You know, and I've had as many as 25 and 30, right, at a time. But, you know, most of the time it's like that 8 to 10 people. But it took a couple times, and it took me being embarrassed, sitting by myself, feeling lonely. But I just said, I know this is going to work. I know if people would just do it, they'd get value out of it.
Yes.
And, you know, and I had to believe it for myself. And I think that's something that I really want people to know is you've got to believe in it for yourself. And I mean, you will figure out a way to get it introduced to the marketplace. But sometimes it takes some time.
Yeah.
And success, especially in business, is not instantaneous. You are not going to do one Facebook post, hey, I'm open for business, and everything's going to go. Right? I mean, it takes some time, and it takes some effort, and it takes consistency.
Yeah.
And you cannot give up. You just can't. You've got to be persistent.
Yeah.
You can tweak.
I totally agree.
But you just got to always be trying something.
Yeah, I so agree with everything you said. Even when I was there and starting my group, you know, it was same thing. There wasn't, I don't remember how many like the first time, you know, but it took a while, you know, for people to start seeing it. You know, I had put the event on Eventbrite, and people, you know, started seeing it and things like that. And after a while, you know, I had consistent people coming.
Yeah.
If I thought I didn't want to be there, it was like I would get a message. Are we having our meeting today? You know.
Right.
So I totally agree. Are we ever too old to start something new? What do you think?
No, never.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Oh,
never.
Are you kidding? And you know, there's all kinds of, you know, studies out there, and, you know, case studies that people like started great things in their 60s and 70s. You know, as long as you are mentally able, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think in today's world there are so many options, and there's so many things to learn. Right? I mean, seriously, technology, and who knows where things are going, right?
Absolutely.
But you can always learn it.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
can.
agree.
But no, I don't think there's any age limit at all.
I totally agree. So what are some exciting things you have coming up in your business that you want to share that's exciting? You want to share with those that's listening.
Okay, so I have like two
All
exciting.
right.
I mean, I have a lot of exciting, but I've got two particularly exciting. Okay, so one, I have what I call like a signature workshop called Niche Creation Intensive.
Oh.
And it is 3 days, we're going to make it like 3.5 days, where we really dive into niche creation. Like, how do you carve out your unique place in the marketplace? And then not only do we define how you are unique, but then we work for like 2 days on creating your messaging. And then make sure that you're consistent, like on social media and your website and Google My Business, and that you have consistent messaging and you're resonating with the right people who your ideal clients are. So niche creation is coming up, and we're going to take it on the road from Charleston. We're taking it down to Savannah, Georgia.
Oh.
And we're going to be there March 3rd through 6th of 2022.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah, so that's exciting. Yeah, so niche creation's coming up in March, and then next June 24th and 25th, I'm bringing back my annual conference, which is called Marie Talks. So Marie Talks is, fashioned after 10. Now, you've attended the Marie Talks, I believe.
I have, yes.
Yeah, so Marie Talks will be happening June 24th and 25th, and it's now a 2-day conference. Because the last Marie Talks, it was like a TED Talk, right? So TED Talks is just speaker activity, speaker activity, which is great. But people were saying that they wanted more hands-on. They would like more like of a workshop. They wanted vendors. Yeah, because I was like I didn't have vendors at the old version of Marie Talks because there's no time. That's not good for the vendors, because everyone would be rushed and they don't have time, Yeah. So so now the new Marie Talks is 2 days. So day 1 is vendors and workshops.
Got it.
So you can go to the vendor hall at your leisure, but I have 3 partners, the I Hope Women's Business Center, the Holistic Chamber of Commerce, and the ABWA are doing workshops. They're in breakout rooms and providing workshops. So you can look at the schedule and go, I want to go to this workshop about resumes and this workshop about, your LinkedIn profile and maybe this. But in between, I'm going to go and visit the vendors and do some shopping and that kind of thing. So that's day 1. And then day 2 is the Marie Talks, which is, motivation, advice, real talk, inspiration, and education. Panel speakers and activities and going to impact people's lives, and, that's awesome.
Yeah, what I was going to say was when I was there, now, did you stop having them? I mean, I guess
because
during the
of COVID.
Pandemic. Yeah, okay.
So I had one scheduled, and, then couldn't do it in person. And, I really struggled with whether I thought I could make it a virtual I really did. I struggled with that. But I finally said, no, you know what? I felt that the power needed to be in person.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. And what I was going to say was, when I attended your Marie Talks, it was absolutely amazing. The women, they were so powerful. I was sitting on the front row, and I remember, because I still have pictures that will show up in my Facebook feed. I think I took them, and I was like, man, that was so powerful. Yeah, it was really, really. So I'm glad to hear that you're bringing that back, and I think that's going to be awesome. And anyone that's listening, if they can make it to that.
Moving forward in confidence that after January we can meet in person. Now I'll be honest, I'm going to have a mix going forward. I will have more virtual. I'm not moving everything back to in person because I find it very effective online.
That hybrid approach. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, and I totally get that, definitely. So how can people reach you?
Well, let's see. How can they reach you? Well, you can find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Actually, the best way is probably email.
Okay.
And it's Trina, Trina, at Mirelli ETC. So that's MIRELLIETC.com.
Got it. All of that information in the show notes so that people can reach you. Definitely include all of your links.
Direct through email is actually probably the best.
That's the best. Okay. All right. Well, we will put that. But if they want to connect with you, things like that, then we'll definitely.
Yeah, they can find me on Facebook or LinkedIn. I'm there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And just say, hey, I heard you on the podcast. So I'm like going, yes.
That's right. And definitely you have a Facebook group and all of that. So we'll definitely have that information. Last thoughts, comments, what have you?
Probably last thought is just believe in yourself and do what you want to do.
Yeah. I love it.
Do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
And you know what? The world will adjust.
They will adjust. I love it all. Katryna, thank you so much for joining me on the show. I will definitely have to have you back. There were so many things that I wanted to cover, and I was like, man, I think I'm going to have to wait until next time. So I want to have you back, on the show so that we can just continue this conversation.
Hi, this is Aldreama Harper, and thank you for listening to the podcast. I hope you got value for where you are in your entrepreneurial endeavor. And if you'd like to know more about how I can further serve you, simply go to CoachDreama.com. Again, that's CoachDreama.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Have an amazing day.